After unintentionally, by the way, completing a 69-day streak of meditation, I stopped. And maybe you're thinking, wow, after all that talk about how important daily habits are and how you have to build your way up, you just stopped? Let me explain myself.
Am I doing this because I want to or because I was instructed to?
A lot of the time, I use meditation to prepare for a session of work, kind of like a mental warm-up. But a lot of the time, also, I was already ready to go. So what the meditation turned into was another thing to check off my list, another daily habit tracker to keep track of. So I just decided to ditch the daily habit. I didn't need it anymore. And I still do meditate, I just needed to change my approach. I still meditate if I ever feel very scatterbrained or I'm having trouble focusing or I'm anxious or I'm worried. But the important part is I do it with a purpose. I'm not just doing it to check it off a list anymore or to say I do it. I feel like a lot of people end up doing these habits not because they actually have a very profound reason, but because it's just what all the successful people do. Like it's just what everyone does. So you fall into this trap where you think, if I just do what they do, I will become successful. And that's partially true, but also it completely lacks individuality. It's just cookie cutter, copy and paste. You end up just with this running through the motions approach where sure you're doing things and it's certainly better than not doing things, but you aren't getting the maximum value. I mean, is this thing you've chosen to do actually beneficial for you, or are you just doing it to feel good about yourself? To make it feel like what you're doing is right, or that it's productive, or that it's making you richer, happier, wealthier, more productive? The action can definitely help, but it is not the deciding factor in what makes you successful, whatever that even means. And here's an example. If you wake up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, but don't change anything else about yourself, you're just going to be living the exact same life, but at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not actually waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning that impacts you at all. It's the fact that you do things after you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? My chemistry teacher frequently says chemistry is not a spectator sport. And, you can't just expect to do nothing and get by. You can't just learn if you don't try. And that's why I'm a fan of this individualization approach as opposed to the just do whatever the successful people do approach is. And of course, there's nothing wrong with trying to better yourself, or there's nothing even wrong with trying out the successful people's approach, because who knows, maybe it'll work really great for you. For me, I tried the Andrew Huberman morning routine and I liked walking in the morning. That was about it. I didn't really get value from anything else. So I took that and I added it into my own life, but then I kind of just sifted through the rest. And I think that's a pretty good way of going about it. You can still learn from other people. There are tons of people who know way more about this stuff than me, and I've learned a lot from them, but I also don't just follow what they do. And I want you to be honest with yourself here. Are you here watching this video because you wanted a quick fix or a quick solution or to feel productive? Are you really giving your goals everything you have, or are you just shielding yourself from the hard work so you can sit here and watch this video that doesn't take very much effort to understand and make it feel like you're being productive? I know for myself, I do this all the time. I'm sitting there in my room, maybe there's like an hour before I go to bed or something, and I don't really know what to do. So I'm like, I really want to be productive. Let me watch this YouTube lecture that is kind of interesting, I guess. I mean, I know I have very little authority to speak on this. You can just look at me and know that. But the question I want you to ask yourself is, are you shortcoming your improvement for the sake of comfort or doing things just because? For me, with meditation, the answer was yes. In that first video, I said I wanted to meditate to improve my focus and become more productive. And I truly did mean that. But also, a part of me just wanted to meditate because I knew that's what successful people did. I know that people have sworn by meditation. I thought, if I just do what they do, I will be successful. I still do meditate from time to time, like I said before, and if meditating works for you, keep doing it. It's a great thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying you shouldn't be afraid to let go of old habits or just totally cut off habits that you're doing just because, or you're doing that no longer serve you. Maybe it's time to get the old out and let the new in. I mean, everyone's always changing, and therefore our methods will need to change. You know, maybe it's not that you're broken and you're not doing enough, you're not productive enough. Maybe you just need to focus on what truly matters. I might come back to meditation in sometime in the future. I don't really know, but I can feel confident saying that, yeah, I didn't practice what I preached, and I kind of fell off. Have a good day, you guys.